Hi everyone, my name is Maisy and I am a tarot reader. Welcome to the channel. Today we're doing another pick a card reading, but first I wanted to say please like or subscribe if you enjoyed the video and the tarot message. I love hearing feedback from you guys, so just let me know how I'm doing. So this pick a card reading, we are going to be talking about why am I feeling stuck? So what is blocking me and how can I move through those blockages? As usual, I have both tarot cards and oracle cards here in front of me. 3 piles with a crystal on top of each pile. So take a look at the 3 crystals and, figure out which one is jumping out at you. There's no right or wrong answer. You can pause the video if you want. And once you do that, we'll get started. Timestamps are below. Hello, group 1. Welcome to your reading. This is for those of you who chose the Celestite here. This one's super pretty. It's very delicate. I'm like, I get so nervous to even touch it. So let's start off with your tarot cards. Why are you feeling stuck? What is the root cause and how can we fix that? So you open the reading up with the Star reversed, the Hierophant, 9 of Swords reversed, the High Priestess reversed, the Emperor, 10 of Wands reversed, and Queen of Swords. Okay, so let's see what we have here. We have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Aquarius, and a little Sagittarius. We also have some Libra in there. So basically air signs, Taurus, Aries, and Sagittarius in here. That's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars. If it works and resonates, it does. If it doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to open up with this Star reversed. So the Star is a card of hopes and dreams. And reversed, it can mean that we're at a loss for dreams. We don't really know where we're going. So you may feel kind of uninspired right now, stuck inspirationally. I feel like this is more like, I don't know what to do with my life. Like I feel like you've hit a wall where you've been doing all the things that you're supposed to be doing and yet you're not happy. And so you've come to this point where you're like, have I built up a life that is even where I want to be? Like you're questioning everything, which is big. I mean, we just opened up with the uninspired card, the card that says you are still, figuring out what your dreams are. And then we get into the Hierophant, which is a card of stability, structure. And whenever I see the Hierophant, it's like we do these things because societally we are expected to. We do these things because religion tells us to, or our family values tell us to. That's like how we just grew up. So there's no arguing. And so at some point when you follow, those dreams that you thought were your dreams, and you get to a point where you're like, I'm still not happy, and you realize maybe you were following someone else's dream for you, like what your parents wanted you to do, or what you assumed you would be like when you were older. So like that, a vision of this might be like, or an example of this might be like, if you're not sure about kids, but you're like, when I'm married, I'll feel better about them. And then you get married and you're like, shit, I don't know if I want kids. I don't even know if I want to be married. Like monogamy is not for me, like whatever it is. But that's just an example where you follow the rules because that's what you're supposed to do. And then you get to the point where you're thinking, wait a second, those rules don't apply to me. I'm the exception, or I, have been given this structure that isn't working for me. So I feel like you've had a lot of times recently where you're in this kind of anxiety mode. We have the 9 of Swords reversed, and we see like upright, this person has just got their head in their hands. They're completely at a loss. Like they're staying up at night worrying about these things. So to me, it looks like you are realizing this and you've been caught in these dreaded moments where you're like, what do I do? Like, how do I undo my whole life, So it's a big problem for you. I feel like you are really feeling the weight of your decisions right now, or past decisions. And that's been tough for you to work with. Additionally, though, I feel like you're not choosing what you want. Like I feel like up until this point, again, those were the choices for other people. And you have kind of pushed away your internal desires and needs. Sorry, my dog might bark. We have the High Priestess here reversed, and the High Priestess is a card of wisdom and higher knowledge, but it's also about our intuition. So reverse like this, it can mean like you're just not listening to your intuition. You're really not tuning in. The gut feeling says this isn't right, or I don't feel good, and yet you do it anyway. That kind of thing. So I feel like you've noticed this, like you've noticed the push and pull between your intuition and gut and what you do and how you act on those things. But it's almost like it's come to a head right now with that Star card reversed, where you really feel down in the dumps. The next card we have is the Emperor. So to me, this seems like a person who's like imposing their power on you. So this, if we're talking Emperor type people, we could be talking about like a father figure or a boss, or a partner, you know, who's like, we do it this way. This is what I want to, this is how I want to live. And the Emperor can be very convincing because he's so powerful, because he's got such a firm grip on himself and on his values, and he can project that onto other people very forcefully, actually. So it's like you follow those things going, yeah, this is what we want, and then you go, wait a second, I don't want this, and we're only doing this because he's strong-armed me into it. So a male figure who's very powerful and manipulative, like not necessarily on purpose, but just like colors this dream, this charming life or a charming dream that they want for you, and then tells it to you, and you're like, yeah, totally. And then you get caught up in it. So the Emperor upright here, he could be a father figure, like I said, or a partner who's overbearing, or a boss in a work situation who's just like, nope, do this. Nope, I want you to go this way. So you've had a hard time saying no to them for sure. But then it leads you here to the Ten of Wands. So the Ten of Wands, like we got it reversed in this spread. I'm pulling it upright because this is how you've been feeling. The Ten of Wands is a card of like, wands for me are thoughts and dreams and visions of the future. And here we see it's someone carrying those wands, like they're just super heavy. You can't let go of them. So it can mean like unable to let go of the like the desires of other people or opinions of other people. So you just take on a lot of responsibility, and you try to please everybody. Like you're such a people pleaser, because that's great. You're a hard worker, but then you kind of lose yourself. I mean, the Star is identity also. It's Aquarius. It's about being unique, being your own, being an individual. So I think you have lost a little bit of individuality in this quest to be the perfect whatever, like the perfect daughter or son or partner, or, you know, boss or whatever it is. Just be the perfect something. That has been your quest, that like your lifelong quest. And at this point now you're like, hold on. Sure, I'm like perfect, but do I even want any of this? I don't know. So we come to the last card in your reading, which is the Queen of Swords. And I love this for the ending because it really is about taking control. This is a Libra card, but in general, swords they're air signs. So they're like logical approaches to things. Let's not get caught up in it. Let's be individualistic here. And the Queen of Swords is someone who like she can have empathy for what people need, but she can also detach. So I think that's your problem, where you're like, I want to help them, and they're asking me for help and I can't say no. You definitely can't say no. That's like a trait of yours, but you need to embody the Queen of Swords, because she can see why this might affect you or hurt you or harm you or whatever. However, she needs to do this, whatever this is, to make it all right for her. So she keeps her own individuality in line, or her own like line of sight personally, and doesn't allow like the opinions or the emotions of others to cloud her judgment in any way. So I think that's a challenge for you, and that's something you're gonna have to work on. So let's see. And that's like how you can kind of overcome this feeling of being stuck in this world that you feel like you didn't create on purpose. Just be more like, actionable with it, more take charge with it, and try not to think too much about how other people will feel. I know that sounds shitty, but like, I feel like you are so much of a people pleaser that you lose yourself in it. So your oracle cards, let's see what we got. We have, interesting. So we have Pisces reversed, 5th house reversed, an individuality card, and then Mars. So I see like a lot of like art here. There could be a loss of creative energy. If we're talking just job, there could be a loss of creative energy. Like you're not creating things. Your day-to-day is really routine. It's getting very boring. And the point here is that like Pisces is a healing card, but it's a healing energy, but it's also like a creative energy. So I feel like you feel stuck in this template that is your life. And I wanted to say before I went into that the 5th house is also the house of creativity, and Pisces being that like more emotional sign, you really love to like put your emotions into projects that you're really passionate about. So with this template that is your life, you feel like everything is planned out for you and you have nowhere to go, and you're like, there's no spontaneity that I can do here. So I think that's a problem for you. Also, Pisces reversed, the negative traits of Pisces is that they don't have boundaries like at all. So I feel like you do, if you have Pisces in your chart, that would be why. Perhaps you even have Mars and Pisces in your chart. Which would mean that you are passionate about healing other people, like are passionate about their feelings. Like what you're passionate about is how they feel. And so that is great, but then that means that you're taking on so much. You're taking on their emotions as well as yours, and then you get lost in like what you want out of all of that. So, okay, so that's that. And then we have the last two oracle cards, collaborative dreaming, and defend to the end, the worthwhile. So to me, that says like defend to the end, defend yourself to the end, defend your stature, like whatever the Queen of Swords is pushing you to do, like that's what you have to defend. And don't feel bad about it. That's the thing. Like, I feel like you have these dreams and goals that that if you let go of, it would be for someone else, or maybe you like push them aside so that you can help other people or like please other people. And you can't do that. You have to defend that to the end, defend your goal to the end, because it's important. And then collaborative dreaming says that you are someone who consciously connects. Like we can see the people in this card, they like have these third eye connections going on. So it's like we're dreaming at the same time of the same thing. So I feel like you feel the need to like constantly keep in connection with people. Like if you don't reach out or if you don't do what they say, like you're going to lose connection and then you're going to lose them forever. And it just spirals out of your control in your mind. But what you have to know is that it's all innate. Like you don't have to try so hard to keep the connection going. Like it should just flow without you having to continue catalyzing it. Because that's not real, true connection anyway, right? So a lot to think about for you, group 1. That is your reading, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Hello, group 2. For all my people who chose the Dalmatian Jasper, that's this one. Welcome to your reading. I'm so excited to do your cards. Let's see why you're feeling stuck and what we can do about it. Okay, so your opening card is the 5 of Cups. So 5 of Cups, Judgment reversed, Death reversed, Queen of Cups, Page of Swords, 10 of Cups, the Lovers reversed, 10 of Swords, the Magician. 10 of Swords reversed and the Magician reversed. Okay, definitely you're feeling stuck. I can see it already. Let's see what we have here. We have Cancer energy, air energy, that's Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. A lot of Gemini. Definitely a lot of Gemini, especially with Mercury showing up here too, and some Scorpio for sure. So that's Sun, Moon, Rising, or Venus. Or Mars, sorry. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, or Mars. If that resonates, cool. And if it doesn't, don't bother. Okay, so we have the Five of Cups. This is a grieving card. This is a sad card. You cannot let go of someone or something, a past sentimental thing that you had. I'm guessing it's a relationship. There's just a lot of relationship energy in here. So it seems like if you just broke up, then you can't get over them, or maybe you're feeling really nostalgic right now. At the time that I'm recording this video, we are in Mercury retrograde in Libra. So that is a very, very sentimental relationship-oriented transit, right? So with the Five of Cups coming up, I feel like you're kind of feeling stuck in this routine of woe is me and what ifs and so sad it didn't work out and I'm not sure why it didn't work out. You just could be stuck on the fact that you don't understand, and you're still feeling the grief and the loss of this relationship that seemed to have slipped through your hands. So a lot of that is you're carrying a lot of weight here, especially with the Judgment card reversed and the Death card reversed. So this is Scorpio and Pluto together, and we all know that Pluto rules Scorpio. So there's just a lot of like intensity going on here about transformation and wanting to evolve and wanting to transform, wanting to like move on to the next chapter, but being stuck in this like really emotional black space. So the Death card reversed is always a sign that we're not able to move forward. So this is like the definition of am I stuck? Like, yes, you are stuck. So you're not able to move on to the next chapter. That's very clear. Not able to let go of this. And then with Judgment reversed, I think this is very interesting because I feel like you're putting a lot of pressure or a lot of grief on yourself. Like you may feel like it was your fault. You may feel that you had a play in the destruction of the relationship. So perhaps it was self-destruction, that you were playing in, and that was your fault, real or imagined. That's kind of, I feel like, how you feel. You could have done more. You could have been better. And now you've lost this great love and you feel really kind of awful about it. You're just replaying the loss over and over and over again in your head. So we have the Queen of Cups here, which to me, we actually have the Queen of Cups alongside the Page of Swords. So these are the two people involved. And I would assume that the Queen of Cups is you and the Page of Swords is the other person that we're dealing with. They don't necessarily have to be women. They can be women. These are female energies, but I don't always associate the genders with, the court cards. The Queen of Cups here. The Queen of Cups is a very definitely emotional woman. However, she is mature enough to be able to think outside of the box or think not just for herself, but for other people. So she can empathize, she can understand, she can see the other perspective. So I do feel like you came into this relationship with an open heart, but also a healed and mature heart. Like you've been through this once or twice, this love thing, and now you're prepared to give your heart out again. And you've dealt with your pain, you feel good about yourself. So I feel like you were really prepared to go into this. And in fact, the other person, this Page of Swords person, was not as prepared, like not as emotionally mature, not as spiritually mature. The Page of Swords is swords being an air sign or air, the air element, all about logic and pursuit and our actions. For me, it's actions, like why we do certain things. And pages are the beginning. They're like the formation of the new chapter. that first page of the chapter, there's so much potential. They have like fire inside them to get what they want. So in terms of a sword page, that would be someone who not necessarily acts without thinking, because that's more like Knight of Swords. Page of Swords is like perhaps sending mixed messages. The Page of Swords person is a little bit less mature in their own independence. Like, this is a search to find independence. And I feel like your relationship was kind of like a part of their journey, and they weren't really a person yet when they met you. And then with your, high class emotional value, they were able to kind of develop that side of them. Maybe they're not necessarily as emotional naturally as you are. So you help them a lot, but I do feel like this was kind of an unequal partnership where you were giving all the necessary qualities and you were being balanced, but they were probably taking more than you were giving, and being a little immature in the fact that they weren't thinking about you. They're very one-sided, very like, gotta think about myself and my dreams, and that's all that matters, So it was a tough relationship for you two to meet, because I do think it was more of a timing thing than compatibility issue. The Ten of Cups here says you had really great times. I do see love here. There was definitely like a firm bond that could carry you through a lifetime. So I feel like both of you thought maybe this could last forever. However, the Lovers reversed is such a problem card. The Lovers in general, that energy is really all about like lust and passion and excitement. It's like falling in love for the first time. It's so thrilling and enchanting because it is so wonderful to feel. It's like a drug, and so for me, the Lovers is really more of a time where we're like, where we should experience it, but it's not a long-term thing, that it's karmic more, like it's supposed to come into our life. Like, this relationship is supposed to come into your life and then it's supposed to leave you with love lessons and that you can give to a more mature relationship. So seeing it reversed always makes me feel like the relationship lasted too long, like it wasn't meant to last that long, it wasn't meant to last forever, and you guys were pushing it, like you really thought this could last forever, and it just ended. So what that's saying though is that this relationship was not meant to last. That is something you have to get through your head. Like, I know that you're grieving and you may even feel like this is partially your fault, but you have to let go, because it was never your relationship to win. The universe was taking over at this point, and they're not in your life for a reason. And that reason is to bring someone who's better for you into your life. So I know it sucks, but you can take a little piece of, relief there, knowing that it wasn't ever going to be a better outcome. Like, it was always supposed to end. Okay, so then we have the Ten of Swords reversed, and I feel like this is basically just telling you to stop just stabbing yourself in the back. Like, the Ten of Swords is the card of just grief and like, oh my God, I did this and I should have done that, and like it's going, like, playing your actions over and over and over again. Like, if I had just said this at this time, or if I had just done what they asked me to do when they asked me, like, we would still be together. And you can't do that. You have to stop. Again, it was not meant to last. It ended. It was too long to begin with. And I feel like you're just putting a lot of pressure on yourself. And that's not fair to you. So the Ten of Swords reverse is saying, well, it's time to give up on that thought process. It's time to let go. It's time to stop blaming yourself. And then the Magician reversed, to close your reading, is telling you to get back out there again. I feel like you've been in this space, this like sadness space, for a good while now. It could be 1 month, it could be a couple months, it could be even like emotionally, in and out of it for like a year. But the Magician reversed is like a new chapter. The Magician in general is a new chapter because he's one of the very first cards in the Major Arcana. But when he's reversed like this, it means that we're not skipping ahead, that we're choosing not to take on the next chapter, choosing not to dive in. So I feel like you've realized that like logically you've realized that the relationship ended and you have to move on, but you just haven't been able to download the dating apps or go on a date or really give someone a fair chance. Like you just can't. And this is, the cards are saying now is the time. The reason that you're feeling stuck in your love life perhaps is because you haven't let this other person go. Whether that's been something you knew or not, that's what it's highlighting here. Okay, so let's see what else we have. Okay, we have for the oracle cards, we have the 7th house, of course, Aries reversed, and lunar eclipse. Okay, so Aries reversed. Aries in general is an energy that's like, I've got it under control. I know what I want. I'm like passionate. I'm independent. I'm confident. I don't think you're confident. I feel like you're so worried that you'll mess things up again, that you're afraid to even put yourself out there in the dating pool again. So this card like this just says that your confidence is shot, basically. You fear love so much at this point that there's almost no way that you can feel that you feel like there's almost no way that you could ever be successful at it. The 7th house is the relationship house, so that's pretty obvious there that why it would come up right now. And the lunar eclipse is very interesting to me because I feel like, lunar eclipses are like moons on crack, lunar and solar eclipses. And they're basically times where like a full or new moon becomes like extra. So when we have a lunar eclipse in the 7th house, that means extra potency in the 7th house, extra new beginnings, extra moments of feeling complete. So I feel like it's pushing you to reopen that chapter, to reopen that like part of your life, and see what you attract, because there is a lurking new beginning. Like someone is waiting for you, basically, is what that's saying. Oh my gosh. And then we have faith in the process. That is huge. Literally telling you to trust that everything is going to work out, to trust that there is someone out there for you. And then the word wants to be written. I love that. That like you have love at your fingertips and it like wants to be written out, but you have been so focused on closing yourself off that the world hasn't been able to give it to you yet. So you have to know that it's at your fingertips. It's right there. You just have to be courageous enough. First of all, you have to forgive yourself. Done. And then second of all, you have to let go. And third of all, then you have to be courageous enough to try again. Okay, group 2, that was your reading. A lot to think about. And I hope to see you next time. For my clear quartz people, gotta love clear quartz. It's the bomb diggity. Okay, so let's see why we're feeling stuck and what we can do about it to kind of move on. Okay, so we got 4 of Wands. Strength. The Sun. Page of Cups, reversed. Page of Pentacles. 3 of Cups. Knight of Wands, reversed. Knight of Swords, reversed. 4 of Pentacles, reversed. And the Hanged Man. Okay, so super interesting because nothing is jumping out at me like that's saying that you should feel stuck. Like there's nothing, like we have the 4 of Wands here. That is a card of dreams and manifestations of dreams. So basically it's telling me that in your life right now, pretty much everything is good. Like you can't pinpoint anything that's just like, that's awful. And things are horrible there. Like you're not in debt. Your love life is, I would say, pretty good right now. You feel complete and whole and individual. You have dreams. You're feeling good about your dreams. I don't know. Like I don't really see anything like standing out that's like, this is so sad. This is a problem. Because we have the card of success and manifestations. We also have the Sun, which is ego and happiness. So like not deep down, but just like in general, innately, you feel happy. That's awesome. And strength, which is confidence. Like not only do you feel happy with your life, but you feel like you have full sense of self and purpose, which is great too. So theoretically, nothing should be wrong. So why are you still feeling stuck? And I feel like, okay, let's take the next two cards here. We have the Page of Cups reversed and the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like these are both talking about you. The Page of Cups reversed says that you're feeling drained. Like the Page of Pentacles says that everything is going well. Like you have that job, you have money, you have the status that you want right now. You do have more potential for growth. That's why we see a page and not like a king. You don't have everything that you want in your life quite yet, but you do feel like you're on the right trajectory. You feel good, you know? You feel like everything is in its place to get you to where you want to go for the next dream to manifest. So that's what the Page of Pentacles says. It says like you feel good logically about the path ahead of you and the steps to take. However, the Page of Cups reversed means that you're just putting a lot of emotional energy into like creating this dream of yours, and it's causing you to feel super drained. That's like not a bad thing. We all get drained. I just feel like you personally don't ever see it. Like I think that you get so drained. You're one of those people who's like, everything is fine. It's all good, and you just keep living your life. And then there's that one moment where you're like so drained that you just cause a huge fucking commotion. Like you break up with people, you like get mad, you know, cause stirs in your relationships, like friendships and stuff. And it's because you just haven't addressed the fact that you're fucking tired. You're just tired. And I think that you need to start taking a step back, taking a little bit more me time, a little more self-love time, maybe even going out and having fun more, because we have the Three of Cups here. So it's more like, okay, this could be one of two things, because now I'm thinking there could be a second interpretation here. If that's not resonating with you, that first one, this could also mean that you are having too much of a good time, that you may be drinking too much, especially with the Page of Cups reversed. So if you feel like that's more in line, you know, take that for what it is. But it could be that, you know, you're overworking yourself, you need more just fun time, or that you're overworking yourself and you go out too much to like have fun, to like balance it out. Like, so you have sort of an offset between work, and then like a little bit of play. But when you go play, you go too much, you go too hard and may overdrink and just get crazy, and then you hate yourself in the end for it. So moving on to the next couple cards, we have the Knight of Wands reversed and the Knight of Swords reversed. So I feel like this is more, there's a lot of like beginner energy here, like pages and knights. So you are on a new career path, or a new like something that's new for you. Like you're on a path that you like, but it's also extremely foreign. Like you've never done this before. So if it's, you know, getting married, you've never gotten married before, or if it's starting a new job, it could be in an industry that you have no experience in and you're really excited about it and you feel like you've set yourself up very well. But like the reality of actually going out there and doing that is, I think, weighing on you a little bit more than you expected. So take that and put that into your situation, whatever that is. But the Knight of Wands reversed says that you think that the dream that you have right now is too big, that it's almost unattainable. The Knight of Swords says you're worried about messing it up. I feel like you have an intense fear of this newness because you really feel like you're not good enough, or that you are going to inadvertently mess everything up and lose everything that you've worked hard for. There's just a lot of fear of loss, like fear of losing the material things. That could be losing money, that could be losing your marriage, that could be losing your house. So whatever the situation is for you, we have the Four of Pentacles here reversed, which says to me like the fear is coming from that material vibes, which is why we see him like holding those pentacles so tightly. It's really just about like having a fear that you're going to lose everything. You're just like waiting for the ball to drop. And this could be anxiety ridden. You know, maybe you have anxiety or deal with anxiety on a not day-to-day basis, but maybe you're starting to deal with more anxiety. And that you're causing these self-doubt negative thoughts that is taking a toll on you. But I think the point is that the cards are saying that like you're supposed to not know what you're doing right now. So you need to accept the fact that it's new and accept the fact that you're doing your best, and that's all you can do, right? That's it. So the Hanged Man is the closer to your reading, and it's always a card that comes up and that talks about the shadow selves, like the stuff that we don't want to discuss. Our insecurities are coming out. So this is definitely a time when life is playing on your insecurities, and that's, you know, fearful, of course. But I think that there's a lot of, like, you're just really tense. Just really, really tense, even though everything is fine. Everything is going great, you know. But you're just so afraid that something will happen. And you need to let go of that because, and realize, you know, it's normal for you to feel these feelings. Like, you don't have to beat yourself up over the fact that you're a little anxious. But just, you know, accept them, feel, and allow yourself to feel them so you can process. Okay, so let's see what the oracle cards say. We have Libra, a card of control, and then Saturn reversed, another card of control. So I do feel like you are just so, like, holding on to the grip so tightly. Like, you want your life to look beautiful on the outside, Libra. It's looking all great and wonderful, but on the inside, with that Saturn reversed, I feel like you are just so hard on yourself to, like, keep up this image of who you are and what you want to show the world, that it's, like, definitely taking a toll on you. So we have releasing allegiances and restore and replenish. I love that these two cards have naked women on them, who are, like, curling up in a fetal position. It kind of makes me feel like it's time to go back to the beginning. It's time to, like, close everyone out. Like, I feel like you do a lot of things to impress other people, or to, yeah, it's like to impress other people. And you want to keep up this image that you're, like, totally fine and happy and la-di-da and everything's great, when on the inside you feel awful and like you're just in this fetal position. So I think it's time for some me time. I think it's time to, like, get out and do something for you, some alone time. Maybe go to the beach. You know, we have a lot of seashells here where it says restore and replenish. Releasing allegiances, I really just feel like you need to let go of the chains that you impose on yourself to other people. So releasing those chains from yourself so that you can leave to go restore and replenish, in whatever capacity that makes sense for you. I think that will help a lot because you're just drained. Don't overthink it. You're just tired, and you should be. It's fine. And you're, like, you know, you're really anxious. So maybe taking some moments to just calm down, calm that heart rate, would be really good for you. Okay, group 3, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you next time.